Mexican children are spying on me. I can see them peeping through the hedge that separates us. I decided this morning that I should use the deck, so I've been out here since 10. It's about 1 now. I've been up since 5. Sleeping in the new house has been hard. It's so quiet. The suburban couple next door is silent after 11. The Mexican family on the other side is surprisingly quiet as well. The children wear themselves down during the day by running circles around their lawn or apparently spying on me, the glowingly white girl next door. I thought it would be nice to have breakfast on the deck. I've seen it done on the covers of travel magazines or on soap operas when two characters are having a romantic morning meal after a night of passion. Usually they're wearing robes, looking out at a garden or the ocean, and sitting at pristine white patio furniture. The meal consists of fresh fruit, coffee, and orange juice. I've never liked orange juice. It makes my tongue feel weird and irritates the top of my mouth. I'm probably allergic. I don't have any patio furniture, and my view is of a pool and the occasional plane overhead. My fridge isn't stocked. All that I found this morning was a clear plastic container of leftover Thai soup, some hardened rice, 2 plums, and a 6-pack of beer. I think it's important to have beer at all times. It's nutritious, like bread. It's refreshing, and if you happen to have anyone show up for a visit, which is rare for me, but it's happened once or twice, it's nice to say, "Hi, can I offer you a beer?" So I took the plum and the 6-pack out onto the deck and had breakfast. I'm on beer number 4 right now. It's recommended that you drink one drink an hour, if you're going to drink, that is. I don't think anyone's recommending that people drink 1 drink an hour all the time, except for maybe a very controlling alcoholic. I've been in my bathing suit since I've been out here, but recently pulled on a very large t-shirt advertising a marathon I never attended, just in case the children peek through the bushes. I can hear them whispering in their language back and forth and imagine what they're saying to each other. "She's so white. Maybe she's a ghost. Why is she drinking so much? She must be sad. Let's watch. Maybe she'll try and drown herself. I've never seen her with a boy. I bet she hasn't been laid in years. I know, that's probably why she's drinking. Isn't Uncle Pedro single? Maybe we can get them together. No, he's back with Maria. I am not drinking because I haven't gotten laid." I yell at the children and realize that they didn't actually say any of those things out loud. In fact, they're too young to even be thinking any of those things. They laugh, and I'm sure that I hear one of them say "loco," and I know what that means. And maybe they're right. They don't stop watching me, so I take my half-full or half-empty, depending on your outlook on life, beer around to the shady side of the house. Through the plants that separate my house from theirs, I can hear the married couple is outside. There's a small gap in the plants, so I peek through to see what married people do on a Sunday afternoon. They have sex. Or at least that's what I gather they're doing from the 2 seconds I see them. I pull away as fast as I can the moment I see bare skin on bare skin. I also audibly gasp, and the rustling of the grass beyond the dividing plants stops. The two whisper to each other. He's worried. She's coaxing. Then the rustling starts again. I move to the gap in the foliage. I am not a pervert. They're trying to be exciting. They've had every other day sex for years, and she's finally decided to act on something she read in Cosmopolitan or saw in Desperate Housewives. "Let's do it outside," she probably said, and he fought it until she pouted passive-aggressively for a few days. They're not using a blanket. They're directly on the grass. He's on the bottom, cringing. Her knees can't be too comfortable either. Neither looks like they're enjoying it. They're bearing it. Her head is thrown back, her eyes are closed, her breasts look real, but you can never be too sure these days. He's smooth all over, no hair, but he looks like he used to be hairy before he came to Los Angeles and realized that he would never be able to button up a shirt all the way again. He's not tan, but has naturally olive skin, so he can get away with it. He's focusing on the woman straddling him intensely, like he's trying to control her movements with his eyes. His lips are pursed. She moans, and he forces out a grunt of pretended pleasure in response. She opens her eyes. "Relax," she says, and touches his face. "I am." "Don't you want me?" "Yes." "Then relax, Frank." He works the corners of his mouth into an imitation of a smile. "Whatever," she says, and closes her eyes and throws her head back again. "I'm trying, Lacey," he says. "Yeah, that feels good." His voice is desperate but quiet. I feel something brush against my ankle and freeze. The cat is sitting next to me, its tail switching against my calf. I gasp and kick at it. "Get," I say in a stage whisper. "Shoo!" He bristles and hisses loudly and deeply growls. The couple stops and looks towards the gap where I'm still standing. "Hello?" the woman says, still straddling her husband, who is gripping her hips in fear and looks like he might start crying. "Hi," I say and wave. "Are you watching us?" she says indignantly and crosses her arms, still straddling her husband. It's hard to feel guilty or embarrassed when you're being yelled at by a woman who is mid-coitus. I feel dirty, sure, but mostly I feel like I've been included in some form of street art. It feels like when those spray-painted robot men wave at you, or when a mime starts mimicking your way of walking, thereby making you realize what a terrible walker you are. You want to duck and hide, but you also want to keep watching. It's also hard to deny that I am watching them when I am standing in a very obvious gap in the plants, very clearly watching them, possibly while abusing a cat. Yes, but not in a sick way. Well, exactly what kind of way were you watching us then? Just showing neighborly interest? The man underneath her looks uncomfortable, both physically and emotionally. "My thigh's cramping?" he squeaks out. "Could you turn around, please?" she asks, and I oblige and face the house and wonder when I can walk away and when I will ever be able to see them again without picturing them anatomically locked together. I think maybe it'll take a month or two. I have a very bad visual memory. "I told you this was a bad idea," he whispers. "I told you to patch up that hole in the plants. I was going to do it today, but you had other ideas. Oh, shut up!" I hear feet in the grass and the slammed glass sliding door, which isn't a very impressive act of frustration. "I'm so sorry," I say, now conscious of my own lack of clothing. My t-shirt covers my crotch enough so that it looks like I might not be wearing anything underneath. I feel like I am the naked and inappropriate one now, since she has dismounted her husband and pulled on a pair of jeans and a tank top. "Good," she says, and I suppose it is. "I didn't mean to watch. It wasn't intentional. I won't be watching you regularly. I won't be that neighbor with binoculars or a telescope or anything, and if I ever do get one of those things, I'll just use them to look at the stars or birds." "Good," she says again, but this time with a hint of pity, or maybe it's a hint of weariness. I wish it was okay to rest. I wish it was socially acceptable to just run away in the middle of the conversation. "I should go now," I say. "I have to feed my cat." Sounds like a good excuse as any. I just go to the other side of my lawn. A plane flies low overhead, and I take my position with my back against the house just in case it should happen to fall. It doesn't, but that doesn't mean it won't one day.